Thank you once again for reviewing my YouTube videos and my blogger. What you need to be aware of is that basically the Texas Immigration Services is also another company, organization, basically, I like to call it, that I'm using in order to teach immigration and to file documents with immigration. I'm registered under the Selective Service. I have a number of departments that I'm a part of, that I can be a part of as a civil servant. And basically, what you need to be aware of is that the only thing that happens within the situation of immigration, basically, you can put yourself in a position where you can bring someone over to the United States. If you're from a different country and want to bring someone over, if you're here, born here in the United States, and you want to bring someone here who you've married or you want to marry, that's easy too. The next situation that I need to tell you is that basically, immigration and naturalization and citizenship, basically, well, you're in a situation to where you're able to understand what happens uh, here in the United States. Basically, its own laws, setting guidelines for even permanent residents who visit the United States with their relatives who aren't actual permanent residents. There are situations to where you can get to the United States when without actually having certain information with you. All you need to be is identified basically by the United States. And now what you need to be aware of is basically um, once you put yourself in a situation to where you're here as a resident and you've brought someone over to the United States in order to visit, well, I just gotta tell you that basically there's a situation where you can, I don't know, they can stay here long enough to participate in anything that the United States has to offer for them as a permanent resident and their relatives. Basically, you don't have to actually be a permanent resident in order to be here in the United States. Is basically what I'm trying to tell you. And you can bring your relatives here to visit the United States, even though you're a permanent resident. Now, here's what you need to be aware of, basically. Um, the only thing that you basically need to do is figure out some type of way to get onto the internet, download one of the forms from off of uscis.gov, um, its actual web page. And then once you do that, you're in a situation to where you have to wait for processing and wait for a situation to where you can get the benefits that you need in order to come here to the United States. So let's get on to the next bit of information. The next bit of information that you need to be aware of is that basically you have a situation to where once you have mastered yourself and I'm sorry, mastered the uh, your basic resident know-how, you know, there are certain things that you need to know from that point on. So if you put yourself in a situation to where you can get the uh, people here to the United States as um, situation to where you want them to visit you, as I said before, you have to master it. You have to master your craft. You have to master yourself, and you have to put yourself in a situation to where you understand how the immigration process goes. So after I'm done talking about the departments, basically you may need to know that if you put yourself in a situation where you have people to sign off for and notarize as a civil servant, basically, basically you just put yourself in a situation where you can understand what's going on around in the world. And now, once you put yourself in a situation where you're helping someone become a permanent resident or have their relative come here to the United States, well, basically you have to understand that basically you have to understand that there is a way to get yourself in a situation to where you know exactly what you're telling them. Basically, as I said before, we're talking about immigration and naturalization and citizenship. So right now we're going to talk about immigration. Now, immigration itself is helping someone to enter into the United States and put yourself in a situation to where the processing for your actual, I don't know, uh, your actual need to migrate, helping someone migrate here to the United States. Basically, the help that you need in order to migrate into the United States is just minimal. What you need to, what you need to do. Give me a second. I'm gonna end the video in a few minutes. If you give me a moment, what what you need to do is basically put yourself in a situation to where uh the immigration services from Texas Immigration Services puts you in a position where you know how to help people immigrate here into the United States. And as I said before, once that happens, you have the ability to help them to do their form and to actually help them into other categories under the selective service system. Basically, education, Department of Labor, and other personal information that can put you in a situation to where you don't need to put yourself in a guideline to where you uh, and, put yourself in a situation of where you don't need to uh, help them any more than natural, than normal, basically. So we'll say natural. So the situation is basically you get them here through a petition, and that's actually what you need. So we'll start off with that. Now, the application is different from the actual petition in immigrations. Basically, you're petitioning, you're recognizing that the person is actually coming here to the United States. So they're recognized now. Now, you pinpointed this person out, and basically, uh, you you have to put them in a situation to where the immigration services uh, helps them to be recognized in the United States. And basically, once that happens, you're in a situation that, well, you can actually go to Basically, you have to put yourself in a situation to where you need to uh, get a visa, a passport, and travel documents in order to come here to the United States. But basically, the most important one is the actual visa. You need to be recognized here in the United States. So that's what immigration actually does for you. So let's go ahead with the next bit of information, and then I'm going to end the video. So the next bit of information is naturalization. I've already talked about citizenship. So basically, naturalization puts you in a situation to where you learn how to actually naturalize in order to become a citizen. Well, there's two types of naturalization. There's duality and then there's singularity. Basically, singularity is being an actual citizen, and duality means you have dual citizenship with a different country. Well, this is all the bit of information that I can actually provide for you. Um, Basically, I hope you are able to get the benefit that you're seeking. Remember, if you're going to use the selective service system, you have to master your craft. Have a great day.